The Natural History Museum just got revealed as the latest LEGO modular building, and just wow, look at it! I was able to see it firsthand a couple weeks ago and got a chance to talk with the designer about it. But before showing you that, there's a few things I want to highlight first. You can already pre-order it from LEGO, links in the description, and that's becoming a trend with some LEGO products. But for the first time ever, the new modular building will ship before Christmas, as the release date is December 1st, as opposed to the January 1st release that these products usually have. The footprint is also wider than regular modular buildings, but that's where Chris comes in to tell you all about it.
Hi, my name is Chris Mcveigh and I'm a senior designer with the LEGO Group. I've worked on several sets for Creator Expert first and then icons. Some of them include the police station, the Elf Clubhouse, Santa's Visit, the Bird of Paradise, the Dried Flower Centerpiece, and most recently Himaji Castle. This is 10326 Natural History Museum, and it is the 19th modular and the first modular since Assembly Square to have a 48 brick wide base. So this set has two main floors plus a roof with a study in it. It also rolls in some classic museum iconography, which include the white pillars at the front that frame the entrance, and as well some interesting roof structure that has a bit of a European flair. One of the things that you'll immediately notice on the front is that we have two banners that are speaking to the main exhibits in the museum. So over here we have Go Back in Time, which is the paleontology exhibit. And within the paleontology section, which is on the bottom left over here from my perspective, it contains several mini models as well as a large brick-built Brachiosaurus. And the brick-built Brachiosaurus is kind of interesting because it is so tall that its neck and head extend up through the floor to the second level. On this side, we explore the future, and this is the space exhibit where the minifigures of the modular street are looking forward to what their future might be like. Besides that, the model also contains a couple of other exhibits, including a replica pottery exhibit, a geology exhibit, and an exhibit that speaks to key moments in minifig history. And one of the last key details about the modular is that we have a curator study where the curator goes to write his memoirs. So the set has 7 minifigures, and those include the curator, which may look familiar to some of you. There are 2 museum employees. One is currently on the inside of the museum. One is over here. We have a janitor currently washing the windows, and we have a mother and child who are visiting the museum. We also have an elderly woman out here who is feeding birds on the sidewalk. If you look closely, you'll also see over here that we have a dog in the set as well. And we have a very classic story about the dog stealing a dinosaur bone. And we include the parts with the model so that you can position this little story scene like this. This set does not contain any new elements. However, it does have quite a few recolors in it. Many of those recolors are olive green. Some of those key elements include a 2x2 corner plate, 2x2 corner brick, also the new 3x3 corner plate, a 2x3 brick as well, which has never been an olive green, these arches here, and 2 elements with front-facing studs on them. Other than that, some key elements are the 3x3 corner window is now available in black, and inside you will also find the 3x3 fence element in black. And if you look closely here, you may see that this botanical element has been recolored white to give a bit of dimension to the cherry blossom tree. So in the back, here is partly where the story takes place with the dog. And as you assemble the model, I believe the dog is positioned here with the bone, and actually the other, it's meant to be garbage, but you can pick those elements out and then use that to position the dog and the employee at the front of the museum. And this is a small little thing here where the drain pipe has leaked down here and some flowers are actually growing next to it. So this is the interior of the ground floor. As you walk in, you come to the reception desk, which also doubles as a bit of a gift shop. There are a couple of things to buy that are below the counter. On this side, you will see the paleontology section. So we have our large brick-built Brachiosaurus, which comes out of the model. And you can see several other small exhibits, including a saber-tooth skull, a fossil. On this side, I'll spin this around for you. You can see some dinosaur eggs, and we have something here that I'll pull out called coprolite. And I will not specify or discuss that anymore. So that's the paleontology side. Over here, we have a pottery section with replica pottery that was created by the artist who lives above the Parisian restaurant. And we also have a little bit of storytelling here with something has happened to one of the pieces of pottery, and this employee has well, he looks very concerned. As part of the storytelling, we're not specifying who actually knocked the pot over. It could have been the employee himself. It could have been the dog. It could have been anybody else frequenting the museum. That's just something for people to think about. On this side, we have a small geology section. So one of the key things that you will see here is that we have a geode, stalagmite, and quartz. And further over, we have a brick-built poster showing a cutaway of the Earth from the mantle down to the core. And we also have I'll take this out, we also have a very small brick-built volcano spewing lava. So this is the second floor, and the second floor is primarily the space exhibit. So this is the area where the minifigures envision what their future in space might be like. So immediately in the back wall, you see a map of the Earth, and you see a perspective trajectory of a rocket. And you can also see a small brick-built rocket here next to it, meant to be the rocket that is going to go into space. So if you look closely at this map and the trajectory, you may notice something familiar. I won't specifically call it out. Turning this around, you can see that we have a brick-built model of the solar system. And over here, we have an exhibit that envisions what the future might be like on a moon base or another planet. So there's also a few familiar things in there, I think. And we have a brick-built asteroid and an old telescope to kind of complete that story. And one of the things that I think that a lot of people will be excited by is the minifig history section. And this looks to key moments in minifig history. So we have pirates, we have Forsman, and we have Castle with small mini models and some hats to kind of flesh out that story. So the Brachiosaurus head extends right through the floor. And this is one of the things that when we were designing it, we knew we wanted to do almost from the beginning, to have a brick-built dinosaur that was so tall it had to go through to the next floor. And now I can take you on a small tour of the roof. The roof has a study for the curator. The back panel comes off so that you can access the interior. And this is where he's writing his memoirs. And he has several pieces of his memorabilia around him, as well as 2 awards that he has won for his documentaries. And if you look closely at the top, you'll also see that there is a skylight in this as well. There's some continuation of the storytelling here for the space theme, where there's a telescope mounted here for the curator and the other museum employees to use to look out in space. I think favorite details is something that I'm still trying to actually sort out. There's a lot of things in it that I'm very happy with. One of the things that I was particularly excited about was bringing in the cherry tree. And there's a little bit of storytelling with the cherry tree in terms of the wind has been blowing and some of the cherry blossoms have blown onto the street. And you also find a couple of them up on the roof as well. Other elements of the set that I really like are some of the storytelling on the inside. Definitely, as I've mentioned, the brick-built dinosaur extending up through to the second floor. There are also some assembly methods that I knew I wanted to do a little bit differently right from the start. So I had found the roof tiles or the slopes and just figured out that if I put those on a 45-degree angle, those can make a great stair. And then by combining it with bars that you could clip a minifig hand to, the minifigs could actively use the stairs and be posed on it. When we started to discuss the museum, there was never a doubt that it would be 48 bricks wide. It was just right there from the beginning. So there was not much talk about it. It was just set in stone from the beginning. We don't have any stickers, but we do have several new printed elements. The museum tile up front is a printed element. We also have 3 new minifigure upper body parts. Sorry, 3 in total, but actually 2 new prints. So there's 2 museum employees and the curator as well. And the curator's head is also printed. And then besides that, we've rolled in something a little bit different for the modular. We have these banners that are printed elements. So no, again, no stickers, but maybe something a little bit different than people have seen in the past in the modular street. I would say that every model of this type that we do goes through quite a bit of discussion about the color that we're going to use. And this one was no different. When we are deciding which color to use for these models, we look to the models that came before it and try to figure out what works best next to this. So what works best next to the jazz club? What works best next to the boutique hotel? How does the color we use in this model balance those other colors? So we are looking at the street holistically when we make a decision. What was great about this is that when we locked onto the olive green option, it was kind of a unanimous decision. Everybody was on board for it. And it had the added benefit of us not doing olive green since the Parisian restaurant. I really like working on models where I can come up with storytelling. So typically that means minifigure-based models. It's just something that since I got to the company, I've found that it really motivates me. So little silly things like the broken pottery on the first floor, that was something that came right at the end of development. And when I thought it up, I was quite excited just to like get it in right before the finish line. And these things are just motivating for me. I really like storytelling. That's not to say that I didn't have fun with Hamaji Castle. I certainly got an opportunity to really research the castle and learn about its history and learn about just how complex a building it actually is. So I definitely have fun with that aspect of stuff. But certainly when I can do storytelling, that is the most motivating thing for me. I think it was a very early decision, and specifically because it could be taller than it is wide. Although this is 48 bricks wide, we wanted to make sure that we were using that space well. And if we had done a dinosaur that was longer and maybe took up 2/3 of it, then we felt as though we were kind of taking other stories out of the modular. So that's why this was a very early decision to have the Brachiosaurus with its neck extending through the floor.
Really great insights about the model from the designer himself, and as you can see, I have the box right next to me, so keep an eye out for the review that will be coming out in the next couple days. And remember, it can be pre-ordered already, and it will be shipped early December just in time for Christmas. It will be priced at $300, and with 4,000 plus pieces makes it a great LEGO deal, as is often the case with LEGO modular buildings, and buying it now should place you on the spending threshold for the Galilei gifted purchase set I reviewed a few days ago, starting November 1st until the 16th. I cannot wait to show you guys this set. It's really good.